One of the best quotes I've heard about prayer is, "The greatest misfortune of life isn't the prayers that are not answered, but it's the prayers that were never offered." Unfortunately, there is so much truth within this. Rather than making prayer an everyday affair, rather than making prayer as necessary as breathing, sleeping, and eating, it looks like prayer has become something we do when the need arises, when we need a miracle on speed dial. We as Christians need to guard against complacency. And complacency, I believe, is the devil's tool. He lures you to think you can have it all together. You'll pray later. You'll pray tomorrow. It's all good not to pray for a few days and then just have a catch-up session. That's complacency. God has blessed you so much, given you a season of peace, a season of breakthroughs, and that's when you decide to ease up on your prayer life? That shouldn't be. We can't be Christians who only associate prayer as the solution when we face challenges and problems in our lives. But it shouldn't be so. It doesn't have to be so. You see, it's important that as a believer, we have to learn how to pray fervently and persistently. Prayer should be practiced always, always, whether you're flying high or not. Whether you're in a good place or not, prayer should be a lifestyle. Apostle Paul admonished us to devote ourselves to prayer. To devote yourself is to commit yourself. It's to give over, to remain steadfast in prayer. Now, inadvertently, this means that you should stay away from everything that will affect your prayer life negatively. And understand that persistence when it comes to prayer is not just an option, it's a commandment from God. Jesus always instructed us to pray and never to lose heart, because prayer is the lifeline of a believer. And you have to understand the difference between praying persistently and praying for a long session. When you are persistent in your prayer, you may not necessarily pray for a long time, but you don't give up on God. That's persistence. It means not giving up. It means you are consistent and relentless. Now, let me tell you, some days you might feel like giving up. Some days the joy might go, your energy may be low, and the feelings might fade away. But never give up. Always remember that it's the Lord's commandment to keep praying without ceasing, and in due season, you'll be rewarded. It's important that you have a passion for prayer, because as a believer, you're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities seated in high places. But we are protected by the Lord when we cover ourselves in prayer. When you talk to God, your relationship with Him gets deeper day by day. So I encourage you, I challenge you even, to make prayer your passion, your lifestyle, a daily practice.
It's no secret. All of us, we face struggles. We face the struggles of decisions. We struggle with the decisions of doing right and wrong. We struggle with making good or bad choices. Decisions of telling the truth or telling a lie. At times, even the decision to pray now or later, or even tomorrow, can be a struggle. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I even struggle with this flesh. In other words, I have the desire to do what's good, yet I still seem to keep coming up short when it comes to living righteously. And I'm being real. The struggle of sin is real. And I wonder if anyone else has ever reached a point whereby you're tired of struggling, so tired of falling, tired of struggling to do right, trying to live right, and yet nothing seems to turn out right. Simply tired of messing up. Well, the word I'd like to give you is that this struggle is for your good. It's for your good because if you think of your faith like it's a muscle, how do you build muscle strength? How do you build muscle endurance? Through resistance. Resistance means struggling. And likewise for us as Christians, to build our strength, to build our faith, we need to resist the devil. We need to go through some struggles. We need to fight against the tempting ways of this world. And believe me, it's a fight. It's a fight when your spirit man is saying no, but your flesh is saying yes. It's a fight when you want and need to be strong, but you feel so weak. It's a fight to press on when you feel like giving up. And I encourage you, don't you dare give up. Luke 10:17 says, I have given you authority to trample over serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. Nothing shall by any means hurt you. Now, you may not be trampling over serpents and scorpions, but you can be trampling over weakness, trampling over temptations, trampling over sinful desires. Life is truly about choices. Where are your choices leading you? Choices. Will you accept that this is a struggle but choose to still believe God for a way out? Will you still choose to worship, to pray? Yesterday is in the past, and yes, we struggle with our decisions, but we have power over the enemy. We have been given power to defeat anything and everything that may tempt us to make the wrong choice and risk our relationship with God. And so understand me, it's okay to struggle with making the right decisions, but remember that although you may struggle, ultimately you have the power to overcome and be triumphant.
When the Bible talks about God being our strength when we are weak, I believe that this means in those tough moments, in those moments that you feel like throwing in the towel, that's when we should look toward Him so that He can grant us the grace, give us the strength to get up and press on. And let me tell you something, you get up because you have hope. You press on because you have reason to. You keep pushing because you are given the strength to. You move forward because your God is bigger than your mountain. What I am trying to tell you is that when life hurts, start fighting. You might grunt and strain, but keep fighting. Life will throw things up that you don't see coming, and yes, it hurts. But I encourage you to push through the pain. We can find the source of our resiliency when we look to Jesus. And I don't know about you, but I certainly have had moments where I've wavered and thought, did I do something? Is God angry with me? Because it's one thing after another. Am I being punished? But the answer is no. God is strengthening you. He is shaping you like a refiner. A refiner removes impurities. It removes everything unwanted. So when you survive the shaking of your faith, when you come through the other side, you are stronger, more resilient, and steadfast in your belief. Jesus never changes. What changes is our reality. Our reality can change at any moment, but just because that reality changes, it doesn't mean that the Lord has all of a sudden made a U-turn. His love is no less before the problem than it is during or after the problem. Sometimes life hurts, but we have a Savior who has overcome the evil and darkness of this world, and it's in Him that we trust. It's the Lord that'll give us the power to overcome. We may not be able to escape life's hurts, but in Jesus, through Jesus, we will have the peace we need to get through these difficulties. So let me encourage you. We receive the strength to fight through our trials and troubles when we realize that they can actually serve a good purpose. When we push through life's problems, we come out the other side weary and tired, but victorious, and we are stronger for when the next trial comes. Therefore, don't lose heart when life's hurt comes your way, because we know that they don't define us. They don't destroy us. God will be there to help us through them. Life hurts sometimes, but Jesus helps to lessen the pain. He's our relief. He's there to bandage our wounds. He'll always be the listening ear, the shoulder to cry on, and the one we can lean on for comfort.